Hi my dear children, welcome to our online class. Before starting our class, I want to say something. Here rain is falling heavily, so there will be certain disturbances. Sorry for the inconvenience. Today we are going to learn the third chapter of history, that is the Delhi Sultans. In this chapter, we will learn about the importance of Delhi and how it became an important city in the 12th century. Children, you had already heard about the place Indraprastha in Mahabharata. This Indraprastha was the capital city of Pandavas. Actually, this Delhi was called as Indraprastha. How did we know about Delhi Sultanate? What are the famous dynasties that had ruled Delhi? Today we are going to discuss about this. The famous dynasties which ruled Delhi were Rajput dynasties, early Turkish rulers, Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasties, Sayyid dynasties and Lodi dynasties. Once more, Rajput dynasties, early Turkish rulers, Khalji dynasties, Tughlaq dynasty, then Sayyid dynasty and Lodi dynasty. Delhi first became the capital of a kingdom under the Tomara Rajputs. Is it clear, children? Under the rule of Tomara Rajputs and Chauhans, Delhi became an important commercial center. Many rich merchants lived in the city and they constructed several temples. They minted coins. These coins were called the Kliwon. Please listen. The Kliwon. Okay? It had wide circulation. Now we will discuss about the rulers of Delhi.
Finding out about the Delhi Sultans through inscriptions. Persian was the language of administration under the Delhi Sultans. Many monarchs were subject to their criticism, but the exigencies of service also made Persian literatures very cautious in framing their discomfort with prevailing conditions. Through coins, they are one of the main evidences we have for the rule of several kings. The word annas came into use because many coins in early times had elephant watermarks on them. Through architecture, Indian architecture encompasses a wide variety of geographically and historically spread structures and was transformed by the history of the Indian subcontinent. The diversity of Indian culture is represented in its architecture. It is a blend of ancient and varied native traditions with building types, forms and technologies from West and Central Asia as well as Europe.
This is the 4 stages in the making of a manuscript. First picture A shows preparing the paper. Second picture B shows writing the text. Third picture C shows melting gold to highlight important words and passages. Fourth picture D shows preparing the binding. The rulers of Delhi. Please listen. Rajput dynasties. Tomaras, early 12th century, 1165. Then Anangapala, 1130 to 1145. Chauhans, 1165 to 1192. Prithviraj Chauhan, 1175 to 1192. These are the Rajput dynasties. Is it clear? Early Turkish rulers. 1206 to 1290. Qutbuddin Aybak, 1206 to 1210. Iltutmish, 1210 to 1236. Razia, 1236 to 1240. Balban, 1266 to 1287. Next is Khalji dynasty, 1290 to 1320. Jalaluddin Khalji, 1290 to 1296. Alauddin Khalji, 1296 to 1316. Only some rulers' names are mentioned here. Next is Tughlaq dynasty, 1320 to 1414. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, 1320 to 1324. Muhammad Tughlaq, 1324 to 1351. Firoz Shah Tughlaq, 1351 to 1388. Next is Sayyid dynasty, 1414 to 1451. Kisir Khan, 1414 to 1421. Next dynasty, Lodhi dynasty. Period 1451 to 1526. Bahadur Lodhi. 1451 to 1489. Children, no need to by heart the names of these rulers, just you read it. We got the information about Delhi Sultanate through coins, inscriptions, architecture and tarikhs. What is Tariq? Tariq is a book that gives the information about the Delhi Sultans. With this book, we got details about the administration of Delhi Sultans. The authors of tarikhs were learned men. Do you think the authors of tarikhs would provide information about the lives of ordinary men and women? No. The authors of tarikhs were lived in cities, mainly in Delhi. They often wrote their histories for sultans in the hope of rich rewards. They had nothing to do with the common mass. These authors advised the rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinctions. What do you mean by birthright? Privileges claimed on account of birth. What do you mean by birthright? Privileges claimed on account of birth. For example, people believed that nobles inherited their rights to govern because they were born in certain families. Gender discrimination means social and biological differences between women and men. Usually these differences are used to argue that men are superior to women. Here is one example. In 1236, Sultan Iltutmish daughter Razia became Sultan. The chronicler of the age Minhaji Siraj recognized that she was more able than her brother. But he was not comfortable at having a queen as ruler. She was removed from the throne in 1240.
Our capital, Delhi, has a long history. People have continuously inhabited Delhi since the 6th century. However, it did not become a major city until the early 12th century. During the 12th century, the Chauhans conquered the city of Delhi and transformed it into an important commercial centre. In 1192, with the defeat of Prithviraj Chauhan, Delhi again changed hands. And now, for the first time, it came under Muslim rule, established by Muhammad Ghuri. In 1206, Ghuri appointed one of his generals, Qutubuddin Aibak, as the governor of Delhi. Thus was established the first Muslim dynasty in the Indian subcontinent at Delhi. It was called the Mamluk dynasty. From 1206 to 1526, Delhi was ruled by many rulers of different Muslim dynasties. They all preferred the title of Sultan, and so this period of history came to be known as the Delhi Sultanate. It started with the Mamluk dynasty and was followed by the Khilji, Tughlaq, Sayyid, and Lodhi dynasties. After Qutubuddin Aibak, his son-in-law Shamshuddin Iltutmish took over the throne of Delhi. Iltutmish passed on the reign of Delhi to his daughter Razia, as she was more capable than his sons. She was the only woman ruler from the Delhi Sultanate to rule Delhi. In 1266, after Razia, Balban, the chief advisor to Razia's brother, ruled Delhi. He was the last of the Mamluk rulers. After his death in 1287, Delhi went under the control of the Khilji dynasty. The first ruler from the Khilji dynasty was Jalaluddin Khilji. He was succeeded by Alauddin Khilji, an excellent administrator who influenced many rulers of the following generations. In 1316, the death of Alauddin Khilji brought the end of the Khilji dynasty. The Tughlaqs came next. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was the first emperor of the Tughlaq dynasty. He ruled over Delhi till 1325 AD and was succeeded by his son Muhammad bin Tughlaq. In 1351 AD, Muhammad bin Tughlaq died, and Firuz Shah Tughlaq became the next ruler. After his death, the Tughlaq dynasty became weak. In 1398, Timur from Central Asia attacked India so as to loot and plunder it. Delhi was in ruins after his attack. He appointed Khazir Khan as the governor of Multan and Sindh and left India. Later, Khazir Khan founded the Sayyid dynasty, which ruled over Delhi from 1414 to 1451 AD. After his death in 1421, the rule of the Sayyid dynasty was taken over by Mubarak Shah. After his death, the dynasty did not last long, and Bahlul Lodi, an Afghan noble, established the Lodhi dynasty in 1451. After him, his son Sikandar Lodhi took over the rule of Delhi and shifted his capital to Agra. He was succeeded by Ibrahim Lodhi in 1517, but was unable to gain the support of the Afghan nobles, who started fighting among themselves and began plotting against Ibrahim for power. Finally, Daulat Khan Lodhi, the governor of Punjab and uncle of Ibrahim, invited Babur to invade India. In 1526, Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodhi in the first battle of Panipat and founded the Mughal Empire in India. And so ended the rule of the Lodhi dynasty over Delhi. This also paved the way for the formation of the Mughal Empire in India.
Children, we will wind up today's session. We will meet again in the next class with another topic. Thank you, my dear children. Thank you all.